build something. All metal pieces. Super cool. We'll get the rest of this stuff out of the box and get the box off the bench and start putting it together. That's a long battery. Thing's long. Yeah, I know. That's what she said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells in there. So if those are NiCad or lithium ion or one of them, I don't know. Let's see. NiHM, so that's probably nickel metal hydride, I think, right? All right, correct me if I'm wrong. So let's get to it. Hopefully I've got enough stuff here to build it. Looks like there's not a lot of hardware. Dump out what we have for hardware here. First order of business is to install the pump, if you will, a hydraulic pump. And it has 4 screws for that. And they are M2 by 6. Those don't look like by 6. Those, there's 4 of those and they look like they are the correct ones. So, any washers? No washers. Okay. Okay, let's just rip open these bags. I hate little bags of screws. Hopefully, RC4WD Drive does a better job than some of these Chinese companies who built snowplows, who couldn't seem to get me the correct hardware on those. Those are flush screws there. Oh goody, there's E-clips. Those are always fun. My little hands are gonna work. Just rip them open. All right, looks like we got E-clips galore there. That's fun. Okay. Maybe it looks a little more scale than bolts. These are the 4 screws that hold this on. The pump. Excuse me if I'm a little phlegmy this morning. Sometimes it just goes that way. Okay, let's. This goes on to one of these uprights. And do we know which upright? Looks like it's the one. Let's see, it's the upright without the pulley. Yeah, the one without the pulley. And it looks like it goes on here like that. Those holes don't really line up very well. They want holes. No, those holes don't line up very well at all. That's where it's supposed to go. Yeah, I can't say that I'm super excited about that. I like things to be really nice and basically perfect. There's some of these holes aren't even there. You see that? There's no hole. I'll have to get out a drill bit and kind of clean these up. And I'm just going to kind of aug them out a little bit too, because they don't really line up well with the upright. Or the holes in the upright, rather. That one. This is not... like they tried to drill it out and then their drill bit messed up or something. I don't know, but there we go. Let's go one more size up on the drill bit. We don't have a whole lot of room in there to oblong these holes out without ripping that stuff apart. But we'll give it a shot. Making the holes just a little bit bigger, hopefully without destroying the part, so that the screws actually line up with the holes on the upright. You don't want to go through too fast either, because you'll just crack the plastic. I'm hoping I'm holding that in the right area for your camera viewing pleasure. Thanks for joining me today on this little project. Ooh, boy, we are close to breaking that one. Anywho, about there, about as much as I can do without destroying it. Okay. I'll just clean those up a little bit here. All right, now let's see how we do. It's like a 1.5 driver. Put the screw through it and into the hole loosely, and then I'm going to go diagonal. So I come from the automotive industry, and whenever you install stuff, you have a lot better success when you kind of go across this way and then that way. And cross patterns are really good for bolting things on, to get them evenly, also to line up your holes better, equal pressure. Looks like we're going to make this happen after all. Yeah, I may take this thing back apart and paint it blue. And then again, I may just detail it out and keep it the gray color. What do you think? It seems like most of the ones I see out there in the world are either red or blue. Very few that are gray. Who knows? I've been out of the automotive industry now for over 20 years. And I never really got a chance to use one of these in the automotive industry, because I worked in the wrecking yard business, and there we used a forklift. You just picked whatever you needed up off the ground, strapped it, chained it to the vehicle, and lifted that sucker up to work on it. Okay, so there's step one is complete, and we're going to go to step two. Excuse me. Step two is these guys. And I don't know if these are all exactly the same or not. Let's get them all out of the bags and find out. Pretty sweet. I love the metal construction. Makes it so much more realistic. I've got a plastic one over here, but that I 3D printed, but boy, I'll tell you what, it really can't hold a vehicle very well. Oh, look at that. Telescopic. Dig it. Last one. Okay, they come with these pins. And then that other end there's for the E-clip. And it looks like they're not all the same. Two and two, yeah? 2 and 2. And it looks like this little guy here goes to the outside. So if this is our pump configuration here, that puts this one on this side. So, drop that guy through there. Okay, and then we got to E-clip it. Can barely hold these little things. See if I got a pair of needle nose pliers that'll do the job for me. Oh, that's going to be difficult to get to. Yeah, that didn't quite go in the way I wanted it to. My big head get in the way. Hopefully not too much. Yeah, there's just really... Oh, that one almost took off for Never Neverland. I do not like E-clips. I don't know why they couldn't just use a bolt with a thread lock on the bottom, but hey, I don't design these things. I just build them. There's one. Woohoo! How exciting. Okay, so this is this side here. Back to the just want to double check. Yeah, that seems like it's correct. And finding the hole has been a challenge for a long time. Just come on, get in there. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see. We got another E-clip here. This could go easier. If I just set it in the slot like so, and then ever so gently. That wasn't gentle. There we go. There's two. Okay, so that's good. Flopping in the breeze. Great. I like it. Okay, next one is the other side. That's this one with the big pulley on here. I don't know if that's like for an air hose or what that is for yet, but guaranteed I will figure it out. All right, let's put this guy in here. Tight fit, let me tell you. Get in there. It is a real tight fit. You like videos that have more music than talking and they just kind of show you what they're doing and throw music on it and let you just kind of follow along with music? Or do you like somebody who just sits here and rambles like myself and says what's on his mind? And it just doesn't want to line up very well this way, does it? Something is not quite lining up the way I'd like it on here. And I'm not sure why. Push that in. And come in here and hopefully we can drop this down. Boy, it just doesn't want to line up. Let's see if I can put something in here to get it to line up better, maybe. I don't know. Well, they say, harder the struggle, the better the reward. That's what they say. You heard that one? The harder the struggle, the better the reward. I tell you what, this one just does not want to go in. Oh yeah, we have some success. A measure of success. Let's see, this guy. Ooh, that is tight. But it works. It's not flopping in the breeze, which is always good. Flopping in the breeze, where did that ever come from? Sounds like something you'd only do during the summertime. Have something flopping in the breeze. In the wintertime, it'd be awfully cold. All right, this one's just gonna fall right together, probably. Pretty much. There it is. All right, I like it. Okay, another E-clip. They gave us one extra, maybe, because they know E-clips have a mind of their own. And they often like to take off on their own trip. Oh, that one went down inside there. There it is. Oh, that one just doesn't want to go anywhere I want it to go. Huh. I think just the very tip of my pliers are magnetic. Get in there now. Stay. Oh. What a booger. There we go. There's two. That one is really, really tight. I think our alignment might not have been so great on that one. I don't know. It'll get looser. It's fine. Okay, so there's step 3 all done. And let's see here. We got step 4. Install the lift towers, okay, to the base. This is our big base right here. Oh, it looks like we got 2 E-clips. Make sure I did get E-clips on all 3. All 4? Yep, I did. There's another E-clip. Boy, they're coming out the woodwork there. Okay. Okay, so these have to go on. And we got the one. Does this have a direction? I believe it has a direction. It's got a cutout over here and not here. So I'm going to turn this way like the drawing. And this one with the pulley is going to go here. And the screws for this are the M3x8, which are these guys right here. Again, I'm going to cross and go diagonally to the back corner one. Oh, hang on. I just dropped the screw. Holy. Okay, I got it. I'm back. Oh. All right, let's see here. How many guys have put this together? And girls too, of course, you know, don't want to be that person. But how many of you folks have actually put one of these together? And do you like it? Was it worth it? They're kind of expensive, being all metal. But, you know, they are a very cool design. RC4WD Drive just does a fantastic job with scale. Most of their stuff is pretty amazing when it comes to scale. Durability, pretty good still. Yeah, I've got a few trucks that are trail finders, and they're fairly durable. Now, I don't beat the crap out of them either. I have Traxxas for that. Thank you, Traxxas, for building such a great, just about bulletproof rig. And those things, I have one that, remember when that first 79 Bronco came out from Traxxas? They had the Defender and then the Bronco, and they were brand new on the market. And I got myself one of those Broncos, and I had the one with the, I thought I was getting the one with the Sunset Edition, but it turned out it was just the one with the black and the red stickers, which is fine. You know, we made do and had a lot of fun with it. It's been built and destroyed and built and destroyed over time, and I beefed it up. I've actually bought Vitavon axle housings for it because I broke a few housings, and it was just time to make something a little bit more durable. Now it kind of just sits. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I kind of want to build a mud truck. If there was enough interest around here to do mud runs, do like a mud pit and stuff, I think that would be a lot of fun. I do own a sled for, you know, like pulling sled. So I own one of those. I think that would also be pretty fun to build a puller. Okay, so there's that one. Step number 4, we're over here now. And we'll just move stuff around on my bench. I know my camera's not picking up, you know, it's not a wide shot. Hopefully you guys can see most of this and understand what I'm attempting here. I don't see any reason to use thread lock on this stuff. Not like they're going to be out on the trail with this piece. This is strictly a show piece that does function for the shop. Looking forward to building the interior of Tiny's auto repair shop over there. I've got, and it's going to be an inside, and I get inspired when I see these guys doing these workshops, scale workshops inside, and weathering all the wood and making the windows all, you know, fogged up and old looking. I really dig that stuff. I think that's pretty neat. And looking forward to trying my hand at it in my own little shop here. All right, last one over here, and then we're going to tighten all 4 down. And that looks like we're on the right road here. All right, there's the last one. Back over here. I like to make sure they're tightened down uniformly. which always seems to take a little longer, but in my opinion, it's worth it, especially if you're doing wheels. Wheels and beadlock rings, those kind of things. You really want to take your time with those and just obviously don't over tighten anything because they're just not built to take that. Okay, so there's step 4 is finished. Let's flip the page over. Now we're on step 5. We're getting into some of the electronics here. Okay, so we need to pull these guys out, looks like, and send them across. Let's see, I'm just going to move the instructions over here where I can see them. You don't need to see them. I need to see them though. Okay, so let's see here. We're coming over here, and looks like they've taken the liberty of marking them. Thank you so much. Number 5. This one is number 3. And so hopefully we have the corresponding numbers here. They even made them a little longer so that you could hopefully just kind of figure it out. But with those little number wire labels on there, that makes it a no-brainer, right? I mean, definitely a no-brainer. Yep, that's number 5 there, so we'll put number 5 on there. Okay, yep, that's in there, that's in there. Okay, and then this guy here, these are probably gonna go like this, and this one looks like it goes this way. All right, so we got a little twist in the wire, which I don't care for that. I don't know why they did the twisty wire thing on me, but they did. Okay, so then this goes on the bottom after everything's been built. Yeah. Okay, so there's your wires hooked up there. So I think now we're on to number 6, which is the battery. Well, where does this one go? Number 4 is looped. The 3s are together. The 5s are together. And this one here must go to the battery. And I guess it wants the battery to kind of lay in here like so. And then this guy just kind of connects like so. Oh, we got lights on the power button. That's cool. All right, so now what we need to do is, I believe we need to get all these wires kind of bundled up in here, right? And they're just kind of a lot of wire. Gee. Not exactly sure how these all really fit in here. This guy here, well, this barely even fits in there. So, that being tight like it is, I'm going to loosen these back up for a little wiggle room. Maybe if I have the right size tool. That's quite a wire bundle you got to kind of pack in there. A little more than I'm comfortable with. The battery looks like it just kind of stays in the, maybe the battery goes up in this cavity first. Then we've got grooves. I don't know. Should have watched a video on how to install this. Kind of funny, huh? Because you're watching a video on how to install this. Says the guy who's putting it together, and probably should have watched a video first. And there was another fella has a growing channel. He just got one of these in too, and he is going to put a installation video, I think, an assemble video together for it. So it'll be interesting to see how his turns out. Maybe he's working on his right this second. That would be interesting. Matt, are you out there? Are you building one of these right now? Let's see, what time is it? It is 10:43, Wednesday, December 20th. That's 10:43 a.m. for you guys who need to know that. If you're building this, Matt, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so these really don't move at all. They're just not super clear on how this goes together in regards to the wiring. And I definitely don't want to kink or break any wires, especially the ribbon wire. They really don't like to be bent in a big way. Well, I just don't know. Well, that's not going to work. I'm hitting the micro switches over here. This thing is really long. Well, looks like I'll be doing a little bit of video editing here so you guys don't have to watch my struggle 100%. Just not digging it. I think maybe let's unplug the... Well, that's one way of unplugging it. Oh, check that out. The plug came apart. Gotta love that, huh? Okay, now... Well, that's just not super. Let's get it connected again, but that certainly isn't correct. All right, well, we've made our battery connection once again. Now let's try and take that apart correctly this time. Don't hang on to the wires and pull it apart. Otherwise, you'll just pull it apart. Okay, battery's back out. We are going to figure out this wiring fiasco. We've got little cutouts. They put little reliefs right here and right there, if you can see that, and then a channel. Got two channels for wire. Those channels are for screws, so definitely only one channel for wire. It's almost like RC4WD drive. What are you thinking? You got this one above, that one below. And these little identifiers. Really not a giant fan of this whole setup here. Why they did that, I don't know. Why did they do that? That plug only goes in one way. Oh, looks like another wire came off over here. Looks like it came off of the micro switch. Can you see that? RC4WD drive. What are you doing to me? So what happened there? Oh, okay. Yeah, so it looks like it came off that micro switch. So now the micro switch needs to be fixed. Is my head in the way? I don't know if you can see that down there or not, but I'll tell you what. I'm not keen on stuff falling apart when it's brand new. There's the solder joint right there. You see how it's cloudy looking? A good solder joint should be shiny, okay? That's called a cold solder joint, and that's why it failed. So you need to get on there, people, and figure out who doesn't know how to solder and teach them. All right, I'll be back. We're back from the soldering bench. I got rid of 3 of these plugs because they just took up so much space in there. I decided to go ahead and solder the wires together and get rid of the plugs completely. Yes, that means when I take it apart, I'm going to have to cut the wires again and solder them. That's fine. I hopefully don't have to take this apart too many times. Hopefully it goes together one time. I had to repair the wire on the micro switch. I had to resolder that on. It wasn't done very well. So what I've done now is I've lifted it up on one side, is elevated so that the wires and things can just kind of hang below the unit to give me room to install this battery. And when I put the battery in, I'm going to try and put it in this way so that the plug is hanging out the bottom, and then just kind of hopefully, I had to also on this, I had to shave this down and shorten it up. It would not fit between these two, so I had to take a little material off of there to get that to fit. I'm not sure how many people have had these kinds of challenges that I have, but you know, it's the RC hobby, right? So sometimes we have to take things apart and put them back together to get them to work the way we want them to work. Okay, so now we're looking for these little short guys here, little tiny screws and a driver and the correct driver. Wow, those guys are small. Let's see here. There we go. That doesn't really reach down in there. Perhaps short ones go on the ends. Not quite tighten them down all the way. I want to be able to try and wiggle this around so I can get all of the screws in the hole before I do my final tightening. Okay, yeah, so it looks like these little short guys go off to the side here at the very ends. And one more right there. Oh, a little magnetized there. I know my big hands are in the way, and hopefully you guys can get an idea of what's happening here. All right, that looks pretty good there. Yeah, we'll go with the longer ones for the center, and there's 4 of those. Get all 4 of these guys in. Now, I have tested it. I plugged the battery in. I ran the switches. These arms do go up and down like they're supposed to, so that part's good. I did not test it after I soldered everything together. I probably should have done that. But I have pretty good faith in my soldering ability, so we're just going to rely on a lot of soldering experience. We'll see if we can get these to work. So these little limit switches over here, the one where the wire broke off, that's the down limit switch, and they also have a limit switch up here at the top. And that's the up limit switch. And that will keep everything from going too far and extending it and destroying itself. Just doing the final tightening on these guys. And then we'll flip it over, plug in our battery, tuck in the rest of the wires, and this little guy will be all finished. Well, I wish this would have went together a lot faster and simpler, but you know, that's par for the course. When, like I said, when you're doing our hobby like we do, oftentimes we have to recreate or create, which I think is half the fun of the hobby, personally. I really enjoy, you know, being creative. All right, so let's flip this guy over, upside down here. And I know that's probably going to get really close to the camera, and hopefully it doesn't go out of focus on you, but anyways, that's what it looks like from the bottom side. So I will just plug the battery on this plug here and put the cover on, and we should be good to go. Well, our little switches light up. How are you guys recharging your battery? This is a NiCad battery, so I know it's a rechargeable battery. How are you guys recharging yours? Let me know in the comments below. I'm anxious to see what you guys are using for a charger, or perhaps maybe you built a power supply and your system is plugged into the wall permanently, so you don't have to worry about running out of batteries. All right, we got a little bit of a relief on the bottom there for the wires. Put that up in there, and yeah, we'll get this done. Be right back.